Sun Devil family, thank you so much for being here. We've got proud Sun Devils with us, the Archies. We've got Tom and Lisa. Thank you so much for being sponsors of the program first and foremost with your foundation, the Archie Foundation. For those in the stands watching online that aren't quite aware of what you guys are up to, can you share with us a little bit about how the foundation started and what you guys are really all about?
Well, actually, we're here primarily because our son Henry is a 2016 graduate of ASU and was a captain on the team and played with you and the entire coaching staff, which is really neat. But we started the Alex Archie Foundation in 2008 after our oldest son died by suicide. He was trying real hard to get on a Division I lacrosse team, and unfortunately, his life ended. So we're here. You can take over.
Sure. And the foundation started initially really to help start youth lacrosse programs to help kids find their dreams through life in lacrosse. And about 6 years ago, we started talking about mental health and suicide prevention, and really trying to break that stigma that it's something you keep in the dark. And so we've been working with different sports teams and different athletes to try and help get that message out. And luckily the coaching staff here contacted us and said, we'd really like our players to hear from you. And so we're bringing a speaker out tomorrow night to talk to the team from Minding Your Minds and talk about mental health and suicide prevention. I mean, part of the reality is that athletes, college athletes, 39% of them really have some kind of mental health issue, and it's time to get it out in the public. And student athletes, as you know, have a hard time. If you get hurt, you hurt your shoulder, coaches are happy to send you to the trainer, get you help. But when you really have mental anxiety, depression, you're in a tough place here that really no one knows how to talk about it. So this is bringing the conversation out in the open.
Well, thank you both so much for standing in a place where we can let those athletes really flourish, because it's just a tragedy what happened, but to be able to find the good in that and to be able to provide value with the Sun Devils that are out here. If anyone's going through a tough time, we want to be a supporting unit for you. We want to be family, and I think one of the things that really touched all of us as alumni is we've recently lost a couple of our alumni, and one we know is from suicide or a family member, and others, there's stories that are out there. What can we do? Can you share maybe some tips or practices that we can start incorporating into our lives, or how should we go about providing value to those that are going through such a chaotic time in life?
Sure. I mean, the first part is just recognizing it and talking about it. That's a huge piece, because we in the past, a lot of people grew up that I shouldn't say anything. If somebody brings it up to me, I shouldn't say anything because I'm going to make it worse, and that's wrong. It's listen and understand, and there are lots of resources both at the university or at a personal level that can help people talk about their issues. But really the first piece is getting your teammates to say it's okay if somebody's having a tough time, and the coaching staff is going to say that tomorrow. They really want that. It's important. The biggest difference is they realize between a good athlete and a great athlete is the mind and the body. And you do all this time coaching the athletes on the X's and O's, but now focusing on the mind is a huge part, just for here, but as they go on in life, and for everybody.
I guess the only thing I would add to that is ideally this isn't always about crisis. It's actually about day-to-day wellness. And we saw a great speaker not too long ago who the first thing he said to this group of high school students was, hey, everybody has mental health, right? Mental health is a part of being a human being. And what our goal is to try to help people have as positive mental health as possible. And so this is about things like, how well are you sleeping? What's your nutrition like? Do you ever meditate? Do you ever, as a team, do yoga? Things that I know sound so cliche, but they actually are really, really important in terms of that one person treating all aspects of himself or herself, or their self. So hopefully it's a start, right? We're learning as we go, and it's very gratifying for us to be able to be here.
Well, I can imagine that it's something that we always are getting better at. It's laying down a foundation, having support to get better. We talked about Henry being in the holistic side of being an athlete and performance and everything, and the mental spot is so big, and we want to make sure that we're making it a safe space. As leaders out here and community members and family members, we want people to feel comfortable and safe, and that's the biggest thing, that love. And I think it's something that happens every single day. What can we do to learn more about the foundation, or how can we contribute? What can we do to support you all?
Sure. Yep, and AlexArchieFoundation.com is our website, and on there's information about the website and also ways to donate. And really contact us if anybody wants to bring anything of programs to their schools or their communities. We'd be happy to help.
Well, I know that there's a lot of programs out there that are looking to find something that's different, but something that's so important. I think this is part of it. You mentioned working with Brown. You mentioned bringing in speakers. Is that what the work looks like, or can you share a little bit more about how you partner with teams?
Sure. We're starting to develop a full year program, and that includes both really kicking off something like this weekend or this Monday night with a team, but then also bringing in other resources that may be somebody that does meditation for the team. We talked to director of meditation at University of Wisconsin, who's worked with the football team, women's volleyball team that just won the national championships, and one other team, and really expanding that and see if that can be brought to other schools as well, and then working on just the whole concept of other small snippets of conversations or videos that will help teams understand because mental health is such a broad issue. For one person, it may be how do I meditate. For the other person, it may be just how do I learn to deal with the stress as it comes up in my day-to-day life, and what are my coping skills for that day. So there's a lot of aspects and pieces that we're just starting to put this together, and so as we work with different schools, we'll be able to bring those to the next schools and the next.
I think that's the biggest part. We're always learning about this and going through different times. I think about the alumni that I work with, and on the field it's one thing, right? It's your first time playing at the highest level, maybe as a freshman. Then it's your first time being a leader as a junior or senior, trying to get the team to that next level. And then you go to the real world.
Yeah.
And you try to figure out what you're supposed to do there.
And that transition, we talked to the Yale, a three-time All-American Yale female lacrosse player, and she said her biggest issue was really counting down that this would be my last game. And now, because your identity is an athlete.
Yeah. Now
imagine when you get injured, and now you're no longer to play. My identity's gone. So how do I deal with that transition, or how do I deal with the transition like you at the end of your career, going on to the next? And so that's all part of it. It's just learning how to take care of yourself.
Well, Archies, I see we have a minute left before the game starts. Thank you so much again for being here, supporting the program, and for standing something that's so important. We love you guys so much, and we're so grateful that you guys are part of the program.
Thanks.